Why, hello again, Planet Poke people. It's me, DeoGenZ, with another episode of Pokemon of the Week. Sorry, but this one has to be short. Doing a lot of things this week, going back and forth between Colorado and Jersey, so we're only going to do one set. But it is one that is mighty powerful. It's the Mega Magnet combo of Magnezone. So, what can you do with Magnezone? Well, it's perfect for steel traps. Due to its ability Magnet Pull, and equipped with Hidden Power Fire, plus its naturally excellent affinity towards special attack, it's the perfect combo to be a steel killer for those pesky Ferrothorns and Skarmories that come out onto the field that you fear are going to defensively wall your team. This is the perfect poke to pull. Now, if your opponent tries to pull some crafty things on you, perhaps they would like to rid of your powerful Magnezone, you've got Volt Switch. Volt Switch, just like U-Turn, will strike the foe with physical force, so we won't be getting any benefit from that special attack training that we do, but it's a free switch that gives damage. Now, the only thing you have to be aware of is that the free switch won't be effective if your opponent sends out a type that is partially ground. Because electricity does not affect the ground, you're going to be stuck on the field, and you will either have to use Magnezone as death fodder, which in my opinion would be foolish, or do a hard switch. Over on the effort value side of things, it's pretty clear what we're going to do. You want your Magnezone to be as quick as possible and as powerful as possible. At a 60 base speed, it's not the best. And perhaps you might want to do an alternative raising where you do the opposite of trying to raise it to be super speedy and instead raise it to be super slow, so give it a nature that diminishes its speed and make sure you don't invest any of your effort values into that stat and then set up with a Trick Room before you send out Magnezone. But since Magnezone to me is kind of a trap in itself in that it will trap your opponent's steel types, it's a little bit trickier to predict when you're going to need that Trick Room to kick in. Other than that, you're going to want to equip it with its stab moves Flash Cannon, which is Steel, and Thunderbolt for maximum power. And there are some interesting things you can mess around with on the additional move side of things. One that I saw being a pretty viable strategy was Substitute. Say that you switch out during a Steel type on the field, being at your opponent's side, and instead of immediately obliterating them with Hidden Power Fire, you set up a sub. So now, if that foe has anything to fight you with that will actually cause damage, seeing that Magnezone resists a whole lot of the types, then you won't have to worry about your sub diminishing. Then, once you have it set up, you can wipe out that Steel type with Hidden Power Fire and continue battling. The problem with this is that whenever I set up a sub, I usually like to set up a sub and then do some sort of stat boosting. But since all the move slots are taken here, maybe you would want to switch out Volt Switch, but then, yeah, you'd have to switch out Volt Switch for a Substitute, and then you'd have to get rid of one of the stab moves. You definitely don't want to get rid of Hidden Power Fire. That's what is the niche of this Magnezone set. So, to me, to sub with this guy is more or less a waste of time. You're not really going to be setting up that much unless you decide to go with the more defensive set, which I've not had any chance to raise because it's just not in my nature to be more defensive, but it does have 115 base defense, so that's physical. And 90 special defense is not too bad either. It could potentially set up the screens for you, so that's why I kept it on the additional move side of things, and also paralyze your foes with Thunder Wave. But for me, this Mega Magnet set works well, and I love to wipe out my foes with massive shock voltage power. Let me know how you raise Magnezone in the comments below, and maybe post a video response if you have any battle footage with it. If you'd like to be a part of Pokemon of the Week, head on over to youtube.com/DeoGenZ. My name's in the description there if you want to know how to spell it. And send me a PM. Tell me for next week's Pokemon of the Week what you would raise it as, and you have a chance to be included in this episode. Kidding, next episode, or an episode in the future if I don't happen to see it. And remember to subscribe to Planet Poke for all the awesome Pokemon generated content by so many cool creators here. It just keeps getting better, and I will see you next week.